Hello, guys. Welcome to the episode 2 of Model 2. So, just in case you are coming in contact with this video for the first time, spoiler alert, there is an episode 1 for Model 2. This is the episode 2. So, if you want to have an in-depth understanding of this episode 2, you have to watch the episode 1 for Model 2. Okay, so now let's move into organization overview as earlier promised in the last video. When it comes to organization is like the content, not the content, the container of your content. It is like the container of your content. So let's assume that you fully understood what your content should be. You've tried to pick, your water, your acid, you've mixed everything together. It's giving you a very good solution to the problem, which is the questions or the topics you're trying to write on, right? The next thing is how you're going to make it fit into the container. That is the right structure for writing. All right. So now the organization is mostly divided into three parts. We have the introductory part, that's the introductory paragraph. You have the body of your paragraphs, right? And you have the concluding paragraph. But I'm going to be saying something about uh prior to your introductory paragraph because this is one particular point that most examiners, most not only examiners, most teachers, most textbooks have, trust me, have gone through a lot of textbooks, omit is the title. Titling is very, very important. That's why most times when a student write, they tend to omit the title. So I'm trying to reinforce that and to reiterate that titling is very important. And there are two ways to doing that. There are two ways to titling, okay? There are two ways of titling. The first one, let's write it out. Two ways of titling. Of course, we're going to underline this. This is a title. The first one is using the title case, which I have just done. And the second one is using the block case. Now, I advise my students to always make use of the block case. Why is that? To avoid complications, you have a lot of complicated things to do in your exam paper to start giving yourself headache on just the titling. And also you're being time conscious, right? So I'm going to explain this now. When it comes to the title case, this first one, when it comes to it, you are going to just be capitalizing the first letter of some certain words, and those words are your content words. What are your content words? Your nouns, your verbs, your adjectives, and your adverbs. Now, if you're not so good with your part of speech, you would want to skip this part. Okay, so every other part of speech, or should we call it word classes, remains uncapitalized as the first letter remains uncapitalized. So let's look at this. We have two here is capitalized, the first letter. Ways, this is capitalized. W, by the way, is capitalized. Titling, of course, is capitalized. Of is not capitalized because it's a preposition. To is an adjective. Ways is a noun. Titling is a verb that is represented here as a noun. Surprise, surprise. Yeah. So in case you are not familiar with your word classes, that's your part of speech, just go for the block case. Do not forget that after the titling of the title case, you are going to underline. The block case is just very simple. Just capitalize all and then do not underline. So the block case is this way. Two ways of cycling. Don't mind handwriting. So we do not underline this. Okay. I want to believe that this is clear. So that's the first thing you need to know about the title. That's right before the introduction. Now, of course, based on structure, because we are dealing with organization, right? Based on structure, one thing you also need to observe is the type of writing you're dealing with. So we know that before the introductory paragraph, it's an article, not only an article. This article is going to be published in a newspaper. So it has to come as the title followed by the author. Now, what should be compulsorily compulsorily written? Yeah, as the title. You should note that these are things that are compulsory when writing a title. It should be written at the top. It should be what should come first. Then it should be short, clear, and catchy. The publication we are going to be working on, the article publication we're going to be working on is kind of lengthy. So we are going to ensure that we extract what is important, right? And then make it our title because we are going to be formulating our title ourselves. Then this says here that it should be written in capital letters. To be on the safe side, really, just write it in capital letters. Of course, my formulated title here is Drug Abuse Among Youth. It kind of captures what I'll be writing on. And it's very short, it's catchy, it's clear. Okay, then another compulsory thing to note immediately after your titling is the byline. The byline, what should I call it now? The byline information. So you are the author, it needs to be included that you are the author because, of course, it's going for publication in the newspaper. Let's assume that it were not said in the question that it will be going for publication. You can omit the byline titling. Did you call it titling? Let's just say the byline information just before the introduction. Okay. Yeah. So this is written immediately after the title is being introduced. All right. So we have an example here. I would prefer you write your name. I'll show you in the next slide. So I'll prefer you write your name really to just skip the confusion. So this is practically what it looks like. Let's assume this is your WAEC answer booklet, right? After writing your titling, let's assume that your title tends to fall on the second line. That means that the byline information of the author is going to fall on the third line. So you don't write it in the same line you have your title, okay? It has to fall underneath it. Okay, so the title is, of course, Drug Abuse Among the Youth. I made use of the block case, do not forget. The second is by the author, Adekombi Eunice. By the way, this is my Facebook handle name. You can search on it and then follow me on it. Yeah, basically. So this is the way to write your title and then what is expected based on the fact that this is an article that will be published. Do not forget, this is an article that will be published, right? So this is the format we are following. I would love to go into the introductory paragraph, but I will do that after this video because it's already 9 minutes and I did not want to make the videos lengthy. I want it to be as short and detailed as possible. All right, I'm going to see you in the, should we call it the organization? Yeah, the organization of your writing proper in the next episode. Okay, bye.